Good evening and welcome back to the 2021 Roulette Rivals World Championship. Still on day 1 of 24 in the group stage. This is now the first match of Group B between Taran and JoeBabyGrabber, who I'm definitely going to call Joe the Baby Grabber, even if his name is without the article. I think the funny story behind it is that there's a limit of 15 characters in the signups this time, so he couldn't get his full name. That's why we had some random person without an E. But anyway, that's all the inconsistency. Who has sound for me? It is Joe on the right. So, no briefing this time. We get a minute to go until the first map of this group stage match, the first of Group B. Quickly talk about the group before we talk about the players during this match and during these 3 maps. This is a one that features 5-time console champion Ducker as the first seed. Joe is the second seed in this group, and then it's Cobalt, Bad Games, Crudy, Taran, who is the 6th seed of the 8, and he's followed by Agent Mendo and Srebiat, the 2 rookies. Quite open group, probably Ducker as the huge favorite to win this one, but there are 4 places that you can get and still advance, so really anything can happen. And in the group stages you never know if one of the top favorites are fired up so early. So this is why the group stages are also so fun, because upsets can happen. I think today's upset would be a turn victory, and he will begin his match in Bangkok with this Bangkok spin. Jordan Cross SMG as kitchen staff, Cam Morgan Screwdriver as groundskeeper. And definitely a lovely one, because you can start recording crew and get a kitchen staff and isolate Jordan without being trespassing upstairs, and that's the kill down in 50 seconds. Taran is the first to load in the 47 suit. Oh, okay, so we are going to have to talk about Taran a bit and his story about the Bangkok, but let's see first how Joe starts his match. Hey Mikulars, congrats on your win earlier. Joe is in and starts, well, security, hotel security to be exact. And this is really similar to the Exterminator strat, mostly used by Froth, or invented by Froth or something, except there's no Exterminator needed this time. He's looking to get a groundskeeper, perhaps. No, there is another Exterminator. Oh, so I think that's the difference. He's not going for the one near the fumigation car, but the one in this atrium. So it could be the fact that after this he will talk to Mukjai that the pesticide can be added at the recording floor, which will bring Jordan down or something. And then you can place the letter from Neil, which would bring Ken down. So nicely said what I expect from Joe, and by the time I finish this one, Joe has changed his starting location, so much for that, thanks. So now Taran has a minute advantage, and Taran is, not sure if anyone caught that, but he is actually Master Level 5 here in Bangkok. But he decided to pick Bangkok for all 7 of his group stage matches. I'm not 100% sure why would that be the case, and there is some discussion about it, whether it's a 2-head strat, meaning it's very not intelligent, or a 5-head strat and it's actual genius. I still think that as long as he has fun, and he's in a fun group, so why not experiment and he's probably not expecting to advance one of the top 4 places, but he can definitely get great at Bangkok in the meantime. What's up, Tinor? You begin your tournament tonight, I believe. Good luck for that one. We have former players, future players in the chat who just played and won, like Mikulers. Tinor hoping to get his win in a couple hours as well. Actually, everyone, almost everyone, well, everyone is either adminning or playing in this tournament, which is nice to see. Spoiler. Oh, sorry, Pigeon. I just sent him. I already sent Pidgey the 3 VODs without results. and he's always specifically asks for no spoilers. Okay, so he did win, but the scoreline can be... It's not obvious. It can be 4-2, it can be 5-1 and 6-0. Ah, okay, so not Tinor is the one playing at midnight. I think it's then it's Mike and Buff. Whatever, let's talk about the actual strategies then. This is exterminator type stuff from Joe. He has the letter now, using the snail. But he's going to be a bit late for Ken. He went for his second cycle now. If you can't get him at 1 minute 50, then it's 5.5 minutes, maybe a bit less for second cycle letters. Gotta watch out for this enforcer, but if he's crouching, then there's no problem. So I'm really curious what's a low mastery Bangkok strat is for Taran. It's been 1.5 minutes and he has the kitchen staff disguise. He just has to make his way up and he should be... So he's allowed on the recording crew's floor. I'm fairly sure that... No, I'm not fairly sure that he's allowed at the very top. Because I think there are only recording crew there. But it's not the worst thing to isolate Jordan as the kitchen staff. And that is an enforcer to run. Or, I mean, he was obviously aware of that, he just tried to sneak by, he just couldn't. He's allowed on the top floor, alright. And that makes it even easier. So what Taran has to do is to just take a leap and climb up or walk up the stairs, but probably climbing the pipe is the best because kitchen staff is frisked by those Dexy guards. Bit of a waiting game for Joe. He couldn't get first cycle, which sometimes doable with some adjustments. Don't think it will matter too much today or in this match, but he is waiting out for or until 6 minutes. Compelling gameplay, which means I have to talk about Taran. See if I can. Taran has no sound, so you guys are stuck with the bullet distractions or the bullet sounds. Joe is waiting for Ken's second cycle. Very risky strat. Well said, Nicholas. It's going to be here soon. Groundskeeper not trespassing. Would be surprised if Otis is any kind of enforcer here. It is going to be a straightforward kill for Joe. And then he needs to find a kitchen staff disguise. Well said, Punk. It's been a blast so far. I think there's no more bullets for him. And the Taran restart, I'm just catching on the replay that he had a large SMG on his back, and someone spotted that upstairs. So Taran has to go again, but he has made it to the recording studio at least. So he's making progress with his Bangkok spin. So what's the way to get Jordan now for JoeBabyGrabber? While Taran just body shots everyone. Okay, I guess that might work, although this has caused some panic, and as a result people may go into that room and find that body for Taran. But Taran is in time for the Jordan peekaboo. Not the right disguise, but a clever method of isolating him. And Joe's got the body found. By whom? I'm not familiar with that location. It's the I guess the fumigation place or spot. I don't quite trust that place, but I didn't think that it would cause a body found at this right moment. So the other exterminator might be in there. Oh boy, script. Let's not ban me, please.
Hi, Chef.
So Taran is now 2 minutes in with Jordan isolated, and what's body shot the groundskeeper? Worked for second try, no delayed illegal action. Those guards could be trouble, but they aren't. So now Taran isn't far away from the Jordan kill. Just needs a kitchen staff disguise, of which there are some on Jordan's floor, but he's just going to go down towards the kitchen and find someone there. This is a solid way of luring a kitchen staff in here, but you are just passing in this room, so whooshing can be a problem. It isn't. Double checking the disguise most likely, and there's a disguise acquired. So from this point up until Jordan, there's no reason to. There's no trespassing areas and barely any enforcers. So Taran is getting close to that Jordan kill, and Joe is going to barely but miss the first cycle again. Joe is the, if I say so, if I may say, the #1 fan of the proximity gold brick snail, also known as Clark. Thanks to him, the community names it Clark. No reason, he's just Clark. That's all we need to know about it. So after using Clark, Joe will place the letter at the reception, and we likely wait another 2.5 minutes for second cycle.
Excuse me, I found this on the stairs.
Large gold SMG for the Jordan kill, and the Rockstar is out of the hotel already. conceals the gold deck and begins his hunt for Ken Morgan, as well as a screwdriver and the groundskeeper. But I'm not sure what kind of loadout Taran has for the rest of this spin. So we'll have to wait and see which groundskeeper he goes for. It's not the easiest disguise to get, I feel, without loadout. What I'm trying to go for is either start as 1 or start in 47 suite and calmer 1 or both of them at the start. There's a window when no one looks at them before one of the hotel staff looks down to the atrium rooftop. And there's at least one viable. Maybe there's more, just not a fan of everything. I'm sorry, Joe, but I have to mute you for a couple minutes. As for groundskeepers near Ken, there is a shed near the area where he's taking the phone call. It's probably Taran is looking for this one as well. Joe is going to get a warning after this. I'm just joking so far, but you may never know. There you go, Taran has an emetic item. And will isolate the groundskeeper somewhere. No idea where the closest bathroom is from there. Oh, don't get spotted by the enforcer. This is actually looking like a smart strategy for Taran. This is a bit risky, but the woman was turning away from 47, so that's fine. Taran has the disguise now. Dare I say Taran is in the lead? Would be something for his first Bangkok match with Mastery 5. Oh, this could be unlucky timing, but he gets both KOs, Taran. And the play would be to wait for third cycle can. As Joe gets second cycle can at 6 minutes. And he's indeed on to Jordan Cross now. Hotel staff lure for Taran most likely. Not sure how far can you bring him in. I'm sure he's eyeing towards the storage area where the exterminator was KO'd. That is indeed an enforcer, Taran. Let's not get caught by that. And that is another body found by Joe. He's perplexed by the situation. 6.5 minutes, close to 7. And it is most likely someone upstairs. Oh, it's the hotel director, Mugjai, ruining another run. Sadly, that's consistent then. You probably want to hear that it's a wall hack or game being bad, but it is actually the NPC being bad for having a long cycle. And that was indeed a part of her route to catch those two people. So this puts Taran way in the lead now. Nice funk. Thanks for the confirmation though. So this hotel staff floor doesn't work for Taran. He wanted to bring him into the storage room. But there's a hard limit on that door, or you can't lure him farther than the door. But these bathrooms have been used a lot in the past. And he's going to be Taran's plan as well. Let's see if he remembers the exact way to isolating Ken. When Ken starts talking, you can throw an item for him, and he will be the only one to investigate. This will work as well, unless an NPC comes into these bathrooms in the next 20 seconds. I'm not seeing Jackie here. I think Jackie's gone now. And I think this is the point when Taran has got this pin. He might not have a screwdriver at the moment, but no, that shouldn't take any time to get. Taran is really nervous, but he's not going to go into the bathroom. He is going to KO him regardless. This is what we call an unnecessary risk. But suppose if you're 11 minutes into a Bangkok spin, then you will turn around to KO one more person. So, Taran has to run back for Groundskeeper, which he acquired already. There is a screwdriver on the way almost, if he hasn't picked up one yet. Inventory, I could see on the replay he has a screwdriver already, but it wouldn't have been an issue anyway. There's the disguise, and there's the weapon.
Excuse me, I found this on the
There's 1 more minute. Of course, it depends on the exit Taran is going for, and I'm having a bad time remembering which disguises are allowed near the tuk-tuk, but I think from this room you might as well go main. It's not that much longer. Taran with both objectives down, still green guns and no more cameras to dodge. Ladies and gentlemen, the Mastery 5 Bangkok pick has worked. Taran will take the first map against JoeBabyGrabber. Not bad at all, well done. Taran on Stadia. This is the day for the Stadians so far. Eli having a really entertaining match, which I'm not gonna spoil. We are going to Stadia. PG, you are ruining me. We are going to Sgàil next. That was Joe's pick, and for the next 24 days we are going to play 3 maps each match. The third one being random always from the remainder of the map pool. There are no bans on offer in the group stage, so it can be any of the maps. Man, I would so want to say something about the other deciders so far. Pidge is not gonna let me live. So, suppose let's see what's on offer here in Sgàil. Taran with the with the lead. I was gonna say it's an unlikely lead. It might be the case given Joe's caliber, but it was Taran's pick anyway, so I guess it's a fair 2 points for Taran, and Joe can definitely fight back in Sgàil. Two minutes until Sgàil, so I wonder what I can say about them. So both of these are quite new players. Joe started in RR5 and made his mark, definitely making it all the way to 4th place, and backed that one up with the 9th place in a bigger bracket in RR6. And Taran debuted in RR6 and scored 13th, which was a nice middle of the pack finish. And both of them played exactly one Sgàil before. Taran losing to Ducker. I think there's no shame in that. And Joe beating Poker, which is a big win in RR5 round 2. And Joe is a big supporter of community events such as Roulette Raceway. Always nice to see him play. Taran had real life things to take care of, so he couldn't participate last month, but he promised he'd be back for WC, and that's really what matters. And the fact that we have a 64 perfect group stage and followed by a perfect 32 double elimination bracket. This is once again Group B, which is going to be headlined by Ducker. And one more look at the player list is Ducker, Joe, Cobalt, Bad Games, Crudy, Taran, Agent Mendo, and Trebiat. Mikulers can tell me how wrong that last pronunciation was. I am not going to get much better at it, even if you give me 24 months, let alone days. But we got the Sgàil spin, and oh boy, it's looking nice. Zoe Washington, circumcision knife as initiate. Sophia Washington, fiber wire as burial robes. So where do I start? Sophia life kill as the hostile disguise. Zoe KO kill with a disguise which isn't allowed near Zoe. I think this is as hard as Sgàil spins can get. 1 second. What even is the play here? I think it's just going to be a long back and forth with no obvious quickest strategy. I think there are plays to get Sophia radio as barrier robes. But I'm incredibly rusty. I had to look up the circumcision knife before adminning the previous match to know that it's legal or something. But I'm sure the Sgàil enthusiast would get the Sophia for radio first cycle, and I think that's what Joe is going for. Getting an elite card disguise and rushing down to the morgue where there's Maria, the mortician, and 3 or 4, I can't even remember, but a lot of raiders. Oh boy, I missed this game. Yeah, it's 3 raiders and the mortician. Taran is going to start with the MOC isolation, at least getting the guard disguise. And the 2 regular guards are out of the way. body found, but that's the chloroform or the snail, I missed that. But Joe going back and forth and missing the console being dumb. You can probably readjust in time with a PC or mouse and keyboard, but not with a controller. So Joe has the strat for Sophia, but he missed one shot, crucially, and will instead restart. Just going to do the previous 90 seconds the same way. At the same time, Taran is working on the MOC room. I think this was the last body removed. So we are left with conceal the screwdriver. So now Zoe can come, which happens naturally once Feniger talks to the regular guards. You don't have to do this one actually. If the guards are up, you don't have to pick up the torch and do the cutscene. Although I think he's going to catch Zoe in time anyway, and he would have to wait on her a bit, regardless.
Oh, what a mess! This is an awful accident.
And there we go, Joe has the sky secured. 1 minute and 12 seconds down. Oh, big moment for both. Taran isolating Zoe. That works well. And Joe is in the elite. No, in the hostile disguise, trying to dodge the elite. And time is ticking because he wants to get to the radio, which would be 1 minute 50 seconds, but if you start Architect, then you also trigger the proximity conversation, which is another 30-ish seconds. You can see that Sophia isn't close, but I think she's close enough that Joe doesn't have time to peekaboo this Architect, but he has to, because there's no other way to get past them. Corner subdue and run around them through the window and hope that it's quick enough. There's Sophia and Joe's hesitating. Joe missed Sophia because he just stood there for 3 seconds, and also the constant is at the perfect position. Oh. Now that wasn't planned. I think he was looking at the constant. Or maybe, or I hope he did, or that was the reason for the hesitation. But it was a close one, and he will have to restart. Yeah, the unlucky thing is that it's not much you can do differently. And the constant will, to my knowledge, the constant will have a proximity-based cycle. So if you are near the constant tower, then he will sit around there. If you are near the custodian area, then he will be close to Blake and the gallery. So Joe is thinking of a replan and start his event crew and going to get the Zoe kill first, most likely.
Crap, there's got to be another token around here. The others must be way ahead of me by... Weird. What the hell was that?
Quick cleared out of the morgue by Taran,
Day keeps getting better and better.
and now he has the hostile disguise, the barrier ropes. Yellow guns for Taran, it isn't seen all too often. He'll have to make his way to the either the MOC security room or the Raider security room near the Hyperborean showroom. So Taran is opting to work around in a non-trespassing disguise, and it's likely just going to get the initiate so that he doesn't have to worry about him later. But he bumps into the initiate, so that's tricky, and close combat hurt, but that wasn't... Oh yeah, he turned red. I thought... I was hopeful for a second because there was no unconscious witness, but that was red guns and the big rip for Taran. More than 6 minutes of progress lost. And on a long spin like this, it's not good news. So it is back to Joe advantage now, 2.5 minutes. With the initiate disguise, he can get the effigy lure on Zoe. But of course he can do that whenever he wants. He's going to use these next 2 minutes, maybe less, to secure the circumcision knife. If someone was around a couple hours ago, then the previous Sgàil spin also had a circumcision knife, and it's in this adjacent room in a crate. It's the only way to get it. But it's quite a way away for Joe. As Taran gets spotted trespassing in the suit, lots of peekaboo and briefcase placement, but in the end he has to restart again. Mikula is already calling a tie. 20 more minutes to go, and if done step by step, for example, seen by Joe, then this can be done in the next 5-6 minutes. Because now Joe has everything for the Zoe kill. Can change into the Master of Ceremonies, and then it's all straightforward from there. There we go. Joe knows that it's enough to talk to these two. Taran couldn't get the MOC again. So now it's Joe's turn to wait, and interestingly enough, now the guard is much ahead of Zoe. This is a very random situation in the world of Hitman. These two.
Hey, are you okay? Listen, I think you had an accident.
But now this is the worst placement, because you can't get behind the guard. Now he can. Just don't get side KO. That is going to work. Oh, That was scary by Joe, but that is the situation contained. He has the initial disguise as well as the circumcision knife. And should be back to green guns. Got me worried for a second, but the servers weren't perfect. So the saving grace of this spin, which is fairly interesting, just long and hard, is that no matter which kill you do, I guess if you do Sophia and don't get the guard, then it's a bit different, but after the Zoe kill you can get the elite guard, which gives you infinite access to the barrier ropes and whatever else you need. Probably clear out this area, although you can't peekaboo just yet, so you would need to do this.
Sophia the schemer. What's she up to this time?
You know that Kronstadt?
You would need to do this as in the barrier ropes. Now what Joe could have done is open that door to the architect room, so he doesn't have to walk all the way around and through the window. I guess that's a place where he could have saved 20 seconds or so, but this is going to be cycle dependent from now. Joe has to secure this disguise. Oh, there's the double for Joe. This is what he was waiting for so long, and I've never seen it before, or not as much.
Oh, it looks like an accident.
2 for 1 with the chloroform, 1 more calmer, 1 more subdue, and there's the barrier ropes. And now all he has to do is, I guess, other than getting by these elite guards, which is annoying, he has to peekaboo one of the architects, the male one. Because he still has to get around to that radio. Taran, after a couple restarts, is in a situation where he can get the Zoe isolation. Guard being a bit random again. Now that will be tricky. I think the door will open. But the body isn't found. Lucky for Taran, but he's going to lose a bit more time. And unlucky for Joe, there's the constant, again, the blue shadow of death and restarts and destruction. Oh, Joe going for a slower option of getting rid of this card is, instead of waiting like 5 more seconds. But I wonder where's Sophia now. We saw her go up the stairs about a minute and a half ago. That can very well mean that, yeah, Sophia is now down 1 floor. Which means the radio is very far away. Yeah, Joe just missed it. He might have missed it regardless. But this is not great for him.
So, brain upload, huh? Living forever as a string of cells.
And Taran was trying to isolate Zoe. I think it's just something that he didn't like with the Seeker. So he restarts and go for another MOC isolation. At this point, Taran just has to go with something that results in a finish in the next 40 minutes and hope that Joe doesn't finish. But Joe is getting closer and closer. This is a wait for a peekaboo. Once Sophia is up the stairs. It's one of the trickier peekaboos, I feel like. You can't really stop this peekaboo. It just goes on for so long. Yeah, I think the ruling is that you can't use out of bounds if it includes an item, so no breakable items for drops, which means no muffins. It's target lockdown, but who cares about this target lockdown? That's the... Oh! What's Sophia doing? No one cares about this. No way Joe gets away with that.
Impressive work, 47. And now to confront the constant.
Green gun's back and Joe can go to an exit now. But that was...
I'm at the helicopter, but the place is crawling with security.
That was two things in succession which I've never would have guessed.
You can hijack one of the
First, Sophia not crouching, screaming for her life.
He's not likely to come
And then the raider and the architect lady not caring about that scream. It's wonderful. It's great. Joe got lucky or whatever, but he gets the 2 points. Brilliant. I like moment times 47, I win. But who wins this third map? If it is going to be Mendoza. I want to say hi to Chaos and I want to say bye to Chaos because I think he's already dipping after this map being announced. We had a chance for Chongqing, but wasn't meant to be, not yet. But instead Mendoza. We're tied up and see how these two handle the last map of the RR trilogy. Yeah, Joe doesn't have much to say except holy and that is going to be 50 past the hour, so 5 more minutes. Which is now 4 as we turn to 46 minutes past the hour. Hello Derek. I heard you are waiting for the end of this match, which I appreciate. We can rate Curry after this one. The one match that we are watching is the second to last match of the day, and that will be followed by some random person versus Derek, which is the second of the Group C matches. Second match of Randy, and I'm trying really hard not to say how that match ended because I think that's the last one that Pidgey doesn't know, so make sure to not tell him because he doesn't want any spoilers. Taran is happy to play Mendoza, even though he hasn't won it. It is one of the 6 maps that he's played in his short RR career, so I'm sure he's looking forward to a map where he has some experience on. Win or lose, it doesn't matter. And Joe has played 2 Mendozas. He beat T-North in RR5 LB round 5, but lost to I like Hitman the round before. So he stacks up evenly against 2 of the best console players. Taran himself was console, but he is now on Stadia, so he's technically in the PC bracket, or he would be in the PC bracket if we didn't do cross-platform this time. Stay hydrated, everyone, even if you're not talking. Just over a minute to go, and Sgàil was definitely on the trickier side, and people liked it as well, and we ended up with a really nice moment for Joe. So I wonder if Mendoza can top it. We don't necessarily need accidents to make a spin spectacular as we saw last time. But of course a live or a loud kill never hurts. Mendoza is another map which is, I guess, emetic heavy, because Tamara herself is best isolated with a seeker shot, and there are a lot of disguises where you just want them to be puking in a bathroom, like Corvo, like the head of security, like Thank You Musician. But I guess we'll see what kind of spins we get in this RNG decided map. Don Yates Fiberwire as Corvo and Tamara Vidal Firex as Vator. Well, Yates live as Corvo. That is the big one. Tamara is the Vator kill, and for that you need a fire axe, which itself isn't close to Tamara, so this is a nice spin with a large firearm as well. Taran doesn't have as many starting locations to choose from, so he's the first one in. Joe with Seeker, Colmer in the attic. Lots of nice items. And Tamara is going to be made sick by Taran. I like the strat that will show us some interesting timings. Or wait, really? So Taran is going to use the emetic grenade to lure Tamara into the bushes? It's hard to take that one seriously, to be honest. That was... he just made a crowbar of one-time use. Not sure if that was intentional or not. But Tamara is down. And... I mean, if he has a Seeker, then Corvo will still be isolatable. But... no, I mean... it had to be a mistake. Don't kill a fake NPC in the way, but you are hunted anyway, so restart for Taran, and Joe has the minute advantage now. Who triggers the conversation. He doesn't want to make Corvo sick, he wants to get him upstairs. And he doesn't want to get Yates in first cycle, but he's going for second cycle. 5.5, 6 minutes, which is fair after the tomorrow kill. Just needs some access to the fire axe and the disguise. Wait, Taran is still luring Tamara with a pneumatic device, but at least this isn't a one-time use. But the gas device can be detonated with a remote. And Joe is dropping down to get a fire axe. I think the workers' bathroom has one, and the the mercenary frisk point, if that makes sense for anyone. Bottom of these stairs with the wetsuit exit is the other one. Sounds like a fair deal. You just have to talk to Hitmaps about it, script. But Joe has the item. I think the play is to place it next to Tamara and then go back for the disguise. Or is it? I think it's not impossible to get around, but I wouldn't want to throw the fire axe as the waiter through a public area, so it's just probably best to place it next to Tamara and go a bit back and forth. Although there's a waiter to get near the tasting area below 47 right now. My next question is, and sorry I'm talking about Joe a lot, we'll be back to Taran in a moment. Question is, do these grass... I'm sorry. Does this grass work already? Because early on, this ripped people because it wasn't working. And that's what I'm talking about. That's red guns. Because the Mendoza grass doesn't work as well. But yeah, lavender, my bad. Yeah, in Hitman terminology, it's grass or foliage. But it wasn't thick enough for 47 to hide tomorrow. So what do we have for Taran? He has a Tamara isolation and the Corvo disguise, and he is going to be was wondering if he'll make his way up already, but Taran should eventually. Oh, that's risky. Oh, that mercenary can turn around any moment. There's some wood, but not too much. I apologize, script. I was never really good at biology, so it is foliage. But some nice lavender for sure. And a nice seeker shot for Yates. Where does he go from there though? Is there a ledge or the bathroom upstairs? Yeah, that doesn't have Taran. Yeah, it was a great idea, but wasn't meant to be. And now it's 60 seconds of wait, because there's no way you can get that kill there, Taran. I mean, the theory behind it, to make someone sick and then you expect him to go to a bathroom, that is a good idea, but the game itself doesn't want to cooperate like that because we have different rules now about emetics and ledges and toilets and whatnot. Taran managed to KO someone here, so now he only has to manage 4 other. This is great. Please, Taran, you're actually leading and on the verge of winning this match. At this point, it's best to wait until he's back in the villa. Now, I'm not quite sure why would you still be a mercenary at this point. You would just want to get in position for a fiber wire kill as Corvo, because it's a live kill, you can't KO him.
Nothing quite spoils a party like your guests being in the back.
So, Joe versus Corvo take 2. But I'm kind of thinking that he just wants to place the Fire Axe and leave Corvo. This is sort of a blind area. Well, we'll find out now. Still green. Fake NPCs are out of their minds. But it's only the puking civilian who will notice that body and shouldn't find Tamara really at all. Joe, back to waiter. Fire Axe next to Tamara.
Think about it. Duval was kidnapped by the
And he's basically ready with the first kill.
No, they were discreet about it. I got a glimpse.
And Taran is also getting ready for his kill. Not Tamara though, but Yates. Still green guns, just double checking the condition. Hey, there's Chrome. It's Mendoza, so why not? Ooh, that's a peekaboo. But green guns. Taran will be pleased about it, but it opens the door and then doesn't aims any guns at him. What worked for Joe in Sgàil will not work for Taran and has to restart, and that's a GRB moment indeed. And it would have been a really interesting one. A really interesting race between the two. Both with 1 kill down. Opposite ones at that. But Taran was too eager. And Joe wants to be safe with this one and accident KO this waiter. And now he has free access to the Herald basement. So a couple of timings can work here, depending on how fancy you want to be. I think he can make the earliest at 6.5 minutes or so in this office. If he crouches right here, then he can technically get the kill while Yates is alone. Only works in this cycle because one cycle from now the lawyer will have arrived. So Joe is going to try something really similar to Taran, I feel. Get the fiber wire kill around this area upstairs. So he will still need a couple minutes until the finish, until a likely finish. Yates is now just entering the lawyer's office. He's going to spend a minute there or so. And yeah, as Joe is waiting, just don't give him any silence pistols. Or I have to mute him again. Taran is optimizing nicely. He's going to get this waiter much closer to Tamara. And that is going to be a kill at less than 3 minutes into the spin. If Joe wasn't so close to finishing, then Taran would be really promising in terms of comeback. Oh, but this is risky, and when fake NPCs start to freak out, then this is how the real NPCs react, by question marks. I think this means Corbo has been made sick, but also bumped, which is why there's the regular working animation.
John Yates, I have received your letter. What's going on?
Important seeker shot for Joe, which was hit, and there's a fiber wire garroting. The second and last kill down for Joe. He is going to hide him to be sure. And disguise or no disguise? Disguise. He's going to do the safe thing and get a mercenary up here so that he won't be trespassing anymore. Taran had his chances to win Mendoza as well and complete an upset win against Joe, but that very moment with Yates, which costed him a restart and lost like 6 minutes of progress, did him dirty, and last minute body found for Taran eventually anyway. Just the perfect sign off for Joe, who finishes and wins the match 4-2. Unlucky for Taran in Mendoza, but Joe pulled off a nice comeback from losing Bangkok to two very nice wins in Sgàil and Mendoza, both with fiber wires, both with 2 points. He is the first winner of Group B. So that's it as far as this match goes. Of course, what this did to the refresh. What this did to the groups is as follows. Joe has the first win of this group and has 4 points now. Taran is on 2. But a long way to go. Everyone plays 7 matches in the group stages, so 5 each for both Joe and Taran. And as far as upcoming matches go, we are going to Currymaker's channel very shortly. Hopefully he's getting live as we speak so we can rate him, because even if not 23:30 but around 15 minutes past midnight, but we are going to start the Some Random Person versus Derek match. They are going to be playing Hokkaido and Dubai, and that will be the last match for the European evening. For Americans, I can offer you the 6 a.m. Central European time, which is midnight Eastern, 9 p.m. Pacific, so late night American match, the buff guy versus Mr. Mike, and the buff guy will be staying awake for 5 more hours, and we'll play the Håkon as the start of the 23rd of October proper. So that's it from me for tonight, and I'm going to Currymaker's channel now for one more match. Thank you everyone for watching, GG's to the players, and see you guys in the next one.